Yo, what's going on YouTube, and welcome back to another Destiny video. So, this time we're going to take a look at the Hunter class, and I'm going to give you a rundown of what the Hunter has to offer in the Destiny Alpha. Now again, as with all these other videos, don't forget that this is just the Alpha, so in the full game, these classes will have a hell of a lot more. There'll be a lot more sub-trees, a lot more skills, different things like that for you to choose from. But for the time being, this is what the Hunter has to offer in the Alpha. Also, as with the other videos, if you do want to see the full skill tree, I will show that at the end of the video. So if you want to look at the Hunter in more detail, then stick around till the end and you can find out more. Anyway, let's kick things off with movement. So, the Hunter has a double jump, which is actually distinctly different to the Titans and the Warlocks. Titans and the Warlocks are both very similar in that they kind of glide or lift you up into the air, but the Hunter's is a conventional double jump. You press jump once and you jump, you press jump the second time and you jump off of that jump, and that's it. The Hunter doesn't float, the Hunter doesn't glide, the Hunter doesn't lift from its jump, it just has two double jumps. Now this is quite useful because obviously it jumps higher, but it also drops faster, which means that you can then chain this together a lot longer. So while you might sort of miss out, or you might sort of not benefit from the fact that you can't float, you can jump a lot quicker. And this can be evolved later on, or that can be extended later on in the skill tree to a triple jump. Then moving on to melee. Now melee with the Hunter is interesting. When you start off at the game and you start off at level 3, then your melee is just a dagger and you stab people in the face. As you're seeing here, this is the very basic melee. However, when you get to a level 5, you will unlock the next part of the skill tree, which then turns your melee into a throwing knife. What this basically allows you to do is throw your knife, but then once the knife has been thrown, there's then a cooldown for it, so it then reverts to the conventional stabbing motion. So it's kind of like a, game of two halves in that respect. You start off with a knife, you throw it into one enemy, which is really powerful as it is. A lot of the time, if they're general mobs, it will normally kill them in one hit. But if they're a little bit stronger, sometimes it will take a couple. And then obviously after that, you then run forward and stab them in the face. There are various things in the skill tree later on that will allow you to kind of shorten the cooldown on this. And also there is also a part in the skill tree that will allow you to have two knives. But for the time being, the first knife will be thrown and the second one will just be held in your hand, and you can go around stabbing enemies until it cools down. Now that all falls under the melee category, but there are actually conventional projectiles in the forms of grenades, as with all the other classes. Now, the Hunter I have spent the least time playing as, so whereas my Titan and my Warlocks are level 8, my Hunter is only level 5, so I currently only have one grenade to show you, but as with the other classes there are 3 different grenades. The first of which is the Incendiary Grenade. Now it just explodes, and then enemies that are nearby catch fire, and that creates additional damage over time. So this is really useful if you throw it into a crowd, then you get lots and lots of enemies sort of like with dots on them, and then they will obviously lose health gradually. So that is a really useful grenade. The second one, as I said, I don't actually have footage of it, but you'll see it in the skill tree at the end, is the Swarm Grenade. It basically detonates on impact and it releases multiple drones that then seek out nearby enemies, so it's kind of like a sort of homing cluster bomb in that respect. And then the third one is the Tripmine Grenade. And it basically sticks to surfaces and it then detonates when enemies pass through, which is really useful if you're playing, especially on think about it on PvP. You can plant them on walls when sort of you're trying to defend a flag, and if people come in, they will then get detonated. So they are your 3 grenades if you are a Hunter. Now again, as with all the other classes, the Hunter has his own special move, which is bound to the L1 and R1 buttons, and it is the Golden Gun. Now if ever you've played James Bond games, then you'll know that the Golden Gun means one hit kill, and that's the very same in Destiny. Golden Gun basically summons a flaming pistol, which then disintegrates enemies with solar light. Basically what that means is that when you shoot an enemy, they will die in one hit. This again does not apply to bosses or captains. Captains, or sort of like the higher, more elite enemies, will take a lot of damage from it, and bosses will obviously similarly take quite a bit of damage. It's not one hit kill on them, but general mobs it will kill in one hit. Cool thing about this over the other ones is if you're a Warlock or a Titan, then you have a one hit move which will then kill anything in the vicinity, but as a Hunter you have 3 shots in this gun, so you have 3 chances to one hit kill enemies, which is really useful, so make sure you use those shots wisely. There is also a thing in the skill tree later on which will allow you to extend the duration of your Golden Gun using throwing knives, so you'll see that at the end if you stick around for the skill tree. But for the time being, yeah, this is really useful, really powerful, so use it wisely. Summon your gun, 3 shots, 3 kills, 3 deaths. Then, as with all the other videos, just going to show you where to get all your armor in the city. So if you go to the tower and you roll on down to the war room where you find all of your kind of vanguards sitting around chatting, you will find a guy called KD or Cade 6, who is the Hunter Vanguard, and if you look at him, he will then sell you your Hunter gear, your sort of Vanguard Hunter gear, and also your emblems and different things like that. So this is where you want to go if you want to get your armor. And that's all there is to it for the Hunter. So, as I said before, if you want to see any of the other classes, then be sure to head over to the channel because I've got a breakdown for all 3 of those. And also there's obviously plenty of other Destiny coverage there as well. But hopefully you enjoyed this video. As always, if you do, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, hit the like button and show your support. It does really help me out. Obviously don't forget to subscribe if you have not already, so you can stay up to date on all of our latest videos, and be sure to stay tuned to the Arekkz Gaming Facebook and Twitter pages for all your updates throughout the week. Lastly, you can add me on various different platforms: Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, Twitter, Wii U, whatever you want. Arekkz is always the ID. Thanks for watching, take it easy, catch you next time, peace out.